This edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson has been brought to you by St. George's Cricket Club, Bermuda's first organized sporting club, serving the St. George's community since 1892. Additional funding for this program was also provided by Dennis Wainwright and family.
And welcome back. Of course, I'm joined by Delray Rawlins, our English county cricketer. Delray, obviously, you'll be heading off soon, going back to the UK, but what sort of goals have you set yourselves for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, heading back soon. Something I've been looking forward to the last, couple of months has been strange. Not being back, in Hove and training with the boys, but looking forward to getting back outside and preparing for the season. But I mean, in terms of goals, I think, obviously you have, measurable goals. In terms of runs and wickets and where you want to be by what stage in the season. But just non-measurable goals. Just trying to help the team win as much as possible. Whether sometimes it might be in the field, whether it is just doing a job with the ball or doing a job with the bat. I'm driven by winning, as many of us are at the club, and I think obviously we're a young team, but I think if we have that mindset and that mentality, we'll go big places.
And have you done any initial training, pre-training while you've been back home?
Yeah, I've been sort of training, hitting a few balls and trying to get my fitness working. Obviously, again, it's difficult, the COVID restrictions and stuff. Obviously, the weather sometimes isn't ideal with a little bit of rain. But getting it in here and where I can. But I still have probably a month and a half to fully prepare and make sure that when day one comes, then I'm fully prepared and I'm ready to go.
To throw it back, obviously we've touched a lot about your career, where it stands now. But take us back in the beginning. When did you start out playing cricket?
Yeah, I started playing when I was young, really young, probably 5 or 6. I just played, sort of throughout the age groups when I was younger. I wouldn't say it was a massive love or passion for me. It was more football. I played a lot of football, and that was probably, more my love and passion at the time. And, once I started, I think, traveling with the national team and seeing different countries and, experiencing different cultures, I think, the love and the passion grew for the game. Obviously, just playing it more, I got the opportunity to play more and more cricket, obviously traveling away and doing it so young. And yeah, I think, that's where it probably changed around 15, 16. I was pretty set in stone, and that's what I wanted to do. And, luckily enough, I'm able to get this far, and hopefully there's a long way to go.
So playing football, who did you play for?
I was a PAC man. People always ask me if I played for anyone else. I played 1 year for Devonshire Colts. That's because that's who my dad is for. So I went to play 1 year when I was real young to play for them. But, I played for PAC my whole life. Yeah.
In what position?
I was more a midfielder, more towards the top half of the field, the last third, more attacking. But yeah, I played mainly in the midfield. Wow,
and who were some of the cricket teams you played for at youth level?
So I started at Warwick, played at Warwick until I was probably about 12, 13 maybe, and then moved to PAC to play, more age group stuff. And then, I stayed there until I was about 16. And then that's when I went to Bay and played. I only played one full season at Bay, and then I was away full time after that. So
yeah, I believe before you went, you had one cup match.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have one cup match. That's a dream of quite a few young boys in Bermuda, and I was lucky enough to experience and play one. But people always ask me when am I coming back to play again, and I mean, I wouldn't say it's any time. Hopefully not in the near future. So we just have to wait and see. What
was it like, playing with that group down at St. George's?
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, we were pretty strong at the time, really. We had quite a few senior, Lionel Ken and these guys were still playing the cup match. I played Ali Pitcher scored 100. We had George O'Brien got 7 wickets I think in the first inning. So we were strong and we were looking to push and potentially win the game. But Frey showed his class that day and scored a pretty big 100 in the last day and got him over the line. But it was exciting and again another learning curve for myself to play so young.
Yeah, your Bay teammate.
Yeah.
Intervene.
Definitely.
What did you say? You say anything to him after the match?
No, I mean, just, to give him the credit and the accolades that he deserved. I mean, it was a pretty special innings, especially in the first innings. I don't think he got too many, so to come back like that and score 100, in that fashion and the way he did was pretty exciting to watch, really, even though you're on the opposing team.
Are there any other memorable matches, moments that stand out for you in playing in a domestic game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you say, cup match, definitely one. Making my Bermuda debut, I think I was 15 at the time at National Stadium against the United States, which again we needed to be in, and it was my debut, so it was a few nerves going around, but we won that game and stayed in the division. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I haven't played a lot of cricket in Bermuda, so I haven't really had the opportunity to win anything, and which I guess in a sense is quite cool because I was able to sort of establish myself pretty young in the UK. But yeah, I mean, hopefully maybe I lied actually. Is when we qualified to go to Dubai. That's 2 summers ago now. I think that was definitely a highlight of my career. Something that as a Bermudian cricket community we haven't done for a little while. And to get to that world stage, I think to do it the way that we done it, I think was very pleasing for us and everyone involved.
Were there any cricketers here that inspired you? During your early development?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Guys like Charlie Marshall, Clay Smith, Gennaro. Even guys who are a bit closer to my generation, Picnic, Rodney Trott. A lot of those guys used to come around when I was young to come to schools. Guys like Kyle Hutzel, Urban Remain used to come with them. A lot of those guys Chris Douglas, they used to come around to the schools and when they were sort of, when Bermuda was up in Division 1 and that was pretty inspiring for me, and I think, that's something that I will never forget, and I think something that should potentially be happening nowadays within schools or communities, period.
Now going back to the UK now, obviously you mentioned earlier about having your contract extended and what it's done for your confidence, but also you've earned a reputation with your brilliant play thus far. Does that bring or carry any expectations on you now every time you step out onto that pitch?
I think you might get that from other people, but for me is always just doing the job at hand. Not putting any added pressure on myself. I find moments where I have put added pressure on myself and definitely hasn't worked out for me because I'm not that sort of player. I think just being as relaxed as possible and just taking it one ball at a time or one step at a time and trying to achieve that goal, which in a game obviously is winning. But yeah, I mean, just trying to take all the pressure off and just try and be as calm as possible. But, maybe outside there is expectation, but I don't really tend to pay attention to any of that.
Delray, it's been a pleasure having you here on board today. And I just wondering if it's anyone you would like to give a shout out to before we leave?
No, I mean, just, anyone that's, people that know who they are, who's helped me throughout my career, previous coaches, obviously my parents, my family, the people around me, but, the people who definitely helped me know who they are. And I won't forget, the moments or the times that we spent together or the knowledge that they've given me.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. And wish you all the best in your endeavors in the upcoming season.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. And
I'd just like to give a shout out to our sponsors, our co-producers, Crimson Multimedia, and to you, the viewers, for tuning in. And look forward to seeing you next time right here on Up Close with yours truly, Colin Thompson.
This edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson has been brought to you by St. George's Cricket Club. Additional funding for this program was also provided by Dennis Wainwright and family.